Hello and welcome back to the Honest Lab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Again, the boys aren't here tonight. So why is it Friday night? Because Friday night is horror night, ladies and gentlemen. And this time it's one that I've been looking forward to for a while. I've been bigging up the Mutilator 2 for a long time. And tonight we have joined by the director of Mutilator 1 and 2, Mr. Buddy Cooper. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Thank you, Craig. I hope you are.
I'm doing quite well. I've been super excited for this one since we linked up on Facebook there a couple of weeks ago. And I want to thank you for taking the time to come on tonight.
Absolutely.
Um, you don't know how much I've been really looking forward to this one.
Well, good. This is, I would say I've been working today on the shot for the poster. And is your podcast, does it have visuals?
Yeah,
If I can, there's a way to share. If you'd like to see it, I'll show you it's not finished yet, but I'll show you the picture that's going to be on the poster. If you'd like to see it, might be a good way to start.
do you
Stand
have it
by.
there or?
Yeah, I think I can get it. Stand by. Oh, you've disabled my screen sharing. Can you turn that off somehow?
Oh, hang on.
Okay, let's see.
I think you should be able to do it there.
There. Can you see that?
Oh, it's the one under the archway, is it? Or under the pillar? It's
Yeah,
just
this
gone
is
black here.
over here. There. This is the pier, and this is Eva. You say you're trying to get her on the show. This is Eva Hamilton.
It's literally just black on this screen. I can't see the actual picture.
Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Well,
If you go back to the white screen there, you'll be able. I can vaguely make it out. It's the one where you can see the pier running out, and it's like the wooden pillars, is it?
these pilings.
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like a
And, oh well.
fishing rod coming down. Um, but yeah, no. As it says, we're in contact with Eva as well, waiting to get her on the show. It's going to be a good one as well. But tonight's not about her. Tonight's about you.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorite all-time horror movies. Like the boys will tell you if they were here. I must have seen this. Geez, I must have seen this about Mutilator 1, obviously, about 200 times. I watched it again. I watched it again today.
I'm glad to hear
I,
it.
I love it.
I
I
am. I'm glad to
absolutely love
hear
it.
it. I'm glad to hear
It's
it.
a thing. And also, just before I forget, you're an absolute scholar and a gent for sending me this beast of a hat.
It,
I
uh,
really appreciate it.
it suits you well.
Yeah, and I'm not really one for wearing hats, but this hasn't left my head since I got it. Uh,
Pretty
Um,
much.
but like, what a movie this turned out, and like the cult following that it got. Obviously coming out in 1984. The cult following that the Mutilator got was absolutely phenomenal. And it must be you must be so proud of it.
I am. Uh, I am. It was an awful lot of fun, and um, it was gone. You know, it was. People were interested in it and kept finding it and selling and reselling the VHS copies and stuff. And then when Ewan Kent contacted me and we agreed that Arrow Video would bring out a package, the package was really good, and that generated new interest in it. It gave us, it exposed the Mutilator to some people who didn't know about it, and it gave the old fans a new way of seeing it, much better than the VHS tapes. I don't know what to say. It's been around for a while and it still holds up.
Like as it says, I watched it again today. It's great. Like okay, people will say, oh well, it's doesn't age well. It ages quite well for me. I mean, it's an 80s slasher movie. What did you expect? They didn't have HD cameras. They didn't have everything that we have now. You've got to appreciate the fine art of movie making.
Yeah, It was filmed, shot it in 35, and making Mutilator 2 has been a real learning experience for me because the technology has advanced. It's very different from shooting in film. Well,
Yeah,
actual shooting is not all that different. The lighting is the same, but now we have LEDs where before we had all the big heavy lights and Mole Richardson lights, and now we used a couple in this movie for effect, but LEDs are so much lighter and easier to move around. You can move more quickly. It gets made faster. But
probably no,
once it's
probably no
shot,
rigging as well.
not much. There's some. The the post production, it has really taken time. It should have been faster, but for some reason it's taken a lot of time. But even the editing, where before we'd have two or three people in a room with flatbed Steenbecks running 35 millimeter film through and cutting and gluing and cutting again and gluing some more. And now there's one guy sitting there at a console doing his thing instantly instead of having to. It's just faster. It's a more efficient process.
Awesome. Yeah, like the technology now has made filmmaking easier, but sometimes not better.
Yeah, that's a keen observation. Um, there's a complaint which I hear frequently that the movies today don't look like movies. Part of that is the sharpness of the image. It's so sharp. Whereas in a movie, particularly in the background, things are sort of blurred. Photographers call it bokeh. When you focus on the front, the background's blurred. And part of that is due to the fact that you look at a frame of a 35 millimeter picture, the picture is not, the focus is not sharp. There's a blur where the picture, where the subject of the frame is moving. And there's much less of that in digital. So it's a sharper, crisper picture. But they're dealing with it. They have ways of doing it. And I think people who do that are good at it, and they're coming closer and closer to getting the film look, which we all love.
Absolutely. Like even going back, as I says, I watch it again, like looking at it and it's grainy, it's dark, and you're like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be dark, yeah.
Yeah. But like it's to me, those kind of 80s slashers, like obviously Mutilator, you've got like Maniac Cop, you've got Friday the 13th, things like that were absolutely brilliant because they were done, they were dark, they were grainy, they were original to a fierce extent.
And
But like this was one of the first ones that I can really remember where obviously if you haven't seen the Mutilator one, it's a spoiler, but like where the dad is the the bad guy, and it's very early that you see him as the bad guy, and you don't have a mask on. It's just shown to you there and then, and you're like, well,
yeah,
and every time I watch it, I still get it. I still get taken out. Joe when he obviously has the flashback and the dad's cutting his throat with the battle axe. I was like, Jesus Christ, he's killing the kid again. I was like, it's
it's,
not often you see that.
that was my son.
That's your son, is it?
Yeah, he's all grown up now. He's the mayor of the town where we live. He's a lawyer. He's a great guy, very fine man. But
He's
he played the boy, and he did a really good job. We were on the set on the day that he was getting that shot that you're talking about done, and it was over. It was late in the afternoon, and he started getting a little bit teary eyed. I said, "What's wrong, son?" He said, "I've got homework to do." He was over here making a movie. He wanted to. I said, "Okay, kill the kid." And they came in and did his thing, and he got to go home and do his homework.
how
He's a
how
prince.
good of it? How good of an excuse would that be to go into your teacher going, "Sorry, I couldn't do my homework last night. Why? Because my dad's making a movie and I got my throat cut with a battle axe."
It's better than the dog ate it.
Well, I mean, the dog ate you could probably get away with. The other one you're not really gonna get away with too often.
Okay,
Um,
now in that same vein, I went to dinner with my daughter and granddaughter, one of my granddaughters, Friday night. And my granddaughter, who's 15, said she was in class, in her history class, and the history teacher likes to start the day every day with some trivia. And he came in and said, okay, today's question is, and I know y'all are not going to get this, what's the name of the movie that was shot in Atlantic Beach with a sequel shot just recently? And she said, Mutilator, Mutilator 2. And he said, how in the world did you know that? And she said, well, that's my grandpa that made those movies.
that's awesome.
He was flabbergasted. He said, you got to get me a poster. So I got a poster for the guy. He's going to
Uh,
take it from me.
See, like it's great when you see people like that. Like there's a certain generation of people. Like I wasn't born in the '80s, but
Yeah.
I have a great appreciation for all the '80s kind of movies, and everyone that kind of badmouths me like, why they came out in the '80s?
Yeah.
You've got to appreciate what came before to make better.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well,
like,
well,
I'd be as much at the point of sitting down and watching an '80s movie as I would watching a new horror movie because a lot of them aren't great.
well, and not just horror movies. There's a lot
It,
of, yeah, any older classic movie. How about Citizen Kane,
Citizen
Casablanca?
Kane's Citizen Kane's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah,
Uh, I was never a fan of
Casablanca.
Casablanca. Now
Casablanca, I like Casablanca.
it's
And it,
good, but like I wouldn't be one I'd sit down and put on.
it's not. No,
Uh,
it is for me. It is for me.
yeah,
There's another one that I think is that I can't recall right now, but well, Alien was about that time. That's one of my favorite horror movies.
Alien was
Uh,
'79. Yeah, it was amazing.
and one of my favorite all-time movies is Magnificent Seven, the '60s edition. Did you ever see that with Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen?
That was
That
the who's who of a cast at that time.
that was good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Charles Bronson, James Coburn,
I
Robert
think
Vaughn.
I've seen it years ago. I used to watch them years ago on a Sunday. They used to be on over here.
Yeah, but that's a
Western
good one.
Westerns wouldn't be my thing either. It's the same as like I don't like a whole lot of Clint Eastwood. His newer stuff was quite good. Not that his older stuff was bad. I just never really sat down to watch it. Where I'd sit down and watch horror movies more so than anything.
Yeah,
But like you have to appreciate what's gone before it. And like as I says, I love the first one of these. So when I seen on Instagram, Eva Hamilton actually put it up on Instagram about Mutilator 2, I was like, what? I was like, that can't be the second one. So I had to write underneath. I was like, this can't be a sequel. And I was
hey,
like, and
please let me interrupt. I've got somebody sent me something, and it when I get a text or an email or anything on my phone, it takes control of my hearing aids. So I lost a couple of minutes there.
oh, sorry.
You,
I was
I'm just going
saying,
to turn this off. Yeah, that won't happen again.
so what part did you hear till?
I don't know. You were talking about watching old movies.
Yeah, so I was saying, like, you obviously have to appreciate what's gone before you.
Yeah,
Um, and like, then I was saying, like, I'd moved on to how shocked I was when I seen the announcement from Mutilator 2. Obviously, I was saying to you off screen, um, that I'd be on so many horror pages. I usually never miss sort of big name things that are coming out. So when I seen Eva put up that Mutilator 2 was coming, I was like, what? I was like, how did I even miss that?
well, when did she put it up?
Oh, jeez, it was a while ago now.
Yeah,
Because as I says to you off screen, we've kind of moved through some of the cast. Obviously we had Anna, Anna Clary, Jeff Seaman. We had Cheney Morrow on as well. Obviously tonight yourself. and like everyone's been speaking so highly of it. Um, and
Glad.
the great time they had on set. Oh, sorry, and can't forget. Sorry, Dan. We forgot Dan Grogan too.
Yeah.
Can't forget Dan. Dan's a good guy.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah.
He, of all those people, he's the only one who posted on the Mutilator Facebook page that he was on the slab.
Oh, he
So that's
shared it onto that page, did he?
yeah. So that's where I saw it,
Ah,
which
good man, Dan,
led me
hooking
to
us
you.
up.
Yeah. I don't know why the others haven't posted it. They're putting it somewhere else, I guess.
Well, yeah, well, I've seen a lot of them shared it on the likes of Instagram and stuff. But yeah, no, I was great. And then when you obviously reached out under the thing, I was like, that can't be the real Bud Cooper.
It
And then obviously
is.
we've been in contact since.
Yes.
Um, and
Yeah.
I you can't don't even understand how excited I am for this to come out.
Okay. Well,
I'm like a child
when
at
it comes
Christmas.
out, I'm going to be excited too. Now, the way I cast Eva in the movie is interesting. It's unusual. I got a friend request from her on Facebook, and I guess everybody, y'all would do a little research when you get a friend request. You don't want to weed out some people. And so I was looking up Eva Hampton, and I saw her what she was. She's a horror movie actress. And so I accepted a request and immediately sent her a message. I said, look, I see what you do, and I'm getting ready to we're in the process of casting for a movie now. We got me in it. She was very cool. I'm sure she gets a lot of messages like that. Hey, I'm going to make a movie, baby. Come on and be in it. But she warmed up. We corresponded a little bit. She warmed up. I guess she did some research and found out that I was legit and came on board. And God, she's just great.
She's brilliant in everything I've seen her in. I recently checked out. She sent me her link to the new short she done with Stacey Nelk in the shed.
The Shed. I saw The
It was
Shed.
absolutely brilliant.
She's got
Um,
another one coming out. God, I can't remember that. That's somebody else I think about.
but yeah, obviously then that's where I seen the Mutilator 2 coming from. So then I started doing some digging, and I reached out to a few people that were on it, and then it's kind of spiraled through the cast list.
Do you have a copy of the cast list? Do you need a copy of the cast list?
I've got my way through some of it.
All
Um,
right.
but absolutely, I genuinely can't wait. I'm like a child at Christmas waiting for this.
I, there's there are people out there waiting for it. Yeah.
And like,
We said we'd go to their local theaters and bang their fists and say, "Give me the Mutilator too." If we get enough people doing that, maybe we get some decent distribution.
I mean, I can go to my local cinema, but I think they tell me to fuck off. But like, how much of a difference, or what made you go back to make the Mutilator 2 after 32
Yeah,
years, 38 years?
35 maybe.
Yeah, 35, yeah.
Well, I'd always wanted to do this. Everybody connected with the first one wanted to do another one. Ruthie Martinez and Bill Hitchcock came back to be in it. Jack Chatham wanted to be in it, but it took so long. He dealt himself out. He signed up for the non-eligible list, although he has a cameo in it.
That's awesome. Obviously, he was the
Yeah,
dad in the first one.
yes,
Uh,
he did. I always wanted to, but things got in the way, like family, work,
happens.
money.
The big one.
The big one. Uh, Pandemic. I started making it in the fall of 19 and stopped when everybody got COVID and just shoved it on the back burner for a couple of years.
Oh, jeez, yeah, that's right. That would have been around that time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like Big Ed was one of the best bad guys I've seen.
He
Yeah.
Jack did a great job. He said to me before we started shooting, he said he wanted to know about his character. He said, tell me about this guy. What's he like?" And I said, "He is one mean son of a bitch." And that's all the direction it took. And everything else was Jack Chatham. Jack did it.
Yeah, like some of the death scenes in it for being 1984, obviously it's all done practically because there was no CGI really,
That's right.
was absolutely phenomenal. Like poor Ralphie getting the gaff hook in the neck.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had Connie Rogers getting uh,
Yeah.
assaulted with the
Yes.
gaff hook.
Yes.
That
The
was that's particularly rough.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a tough one. The boom operator was the younger sister of Peter Schnall, the director of photography, and she said she wasn't going to work on that. Oh, she wasn't going to hold a boom for that shot. She walked off the set. Peter had to get her, talk to her, bring her back in.
No, I'm like I'm waiting to see will the kills be better in this one.
Oh,
I'll have to wait and see.
yeah.
I wouldn't even like for you to tell me anything now.
Okay.
That kind of way, I'm that excited to see the movie. So like you could say, oh well, I can tell you what happens. Nope, thank you, not today.
We're on the same page on that. Do
Yeah.
you ever check by the Mutilator Facebook page?
Yeah, I have it liked on Facebook and it pops up, and then the Instagram page as well shares pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I'm posting behind the scenes shots and screen grabs from the movie. It's interesting. People seem to be liking those. I'll keep that up.
I seen the last one I seen was the one I think with Dan Grogan and where he's standing there talking. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
yeah,
with Damien Maffey. Yes,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I put a couple up since then.
yeah. I've been kind of off. I've been busy in work. I haven't really been flicking through Instagram this week.
But I just want to make
Um,
sure that you knew it was there. Yeah,
oh yeah, 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 absolutely. And then obviously like you have the Instagram and the Facebook page, which is great, and you can see behind the scenes as you said. And like that's where I seen that Ruthie Martinez was coming back, and I
yeah,
was like,
she's
awesome.
fine. Yeah,
I was like, that's awesome. It's great. I love when horror films do that. Obviously, we've seen it recently with Halloween bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back again, and things like that. It's great when you see someone that's that invested in the first one that they were in that they'll come back. Um,
the
but I love it.
yeah the cast
Sorry,
of
excuse me.
Mutilator One has stayed in touch. They've stayed in touch with each other. They've grown. They've been very close. I mean, they're all friends. Ruthie and Bill were old pals on the set. Matt Mittler almost came back. We didn't quite reach agreement. Frances Rain, I talked with Frances Rain about it. She's a SAG actress now and didn't want to perform in a non-union movie, so she didn't come back. But they were all in touch with each other, constantly emailing and texting back and forth.
That
Connie,
was
Connie
that was one of
Rogers died. I don't know if you knew that. She was
I
going
had
to come
heard
back.
that. All right,
She
that's
was
a
going
shame.
to, yeah, she was coming back. She was in. I've got a deal signed with her when we first started, but after that, during the pandemic, she died, not
Yeah,
COVID related.
Frances Rains was one of those girls that I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
she was one of them first loves.
yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah. Obviously she was the first one to go in the original, and she got it quite the easiest.
That's not the way it was supposed to happen. Uh, she's supposed to be floating on her back in the pool, and a spear comes through her from beneath and opens up and pulls back and pulls her under. And it was night. It had to be shot at night, and we were waiting for the special effects team to come. We're sitting on the deck of the condo at the beach, twiddling our thumbs, checking our watches. You could almost see the glow of the sun coming up. We were really pushed for time. and the special effects team came up and said, "We can't make it work." I said, "What?" He said, "It just we can't make it work. They couldn't make the gag work, and we had to shoot." So I said, "Screw it, we'll just drown her." And that's how that came about, and it worked very well, especially in slow motion.
Oh yeah, I was like one of the, I think one of the first times I remember watching it on DVD. I was like, did someone break my DVD when I started skipping? I was like, do you know, it started slowing right down. But I think it actually works better for the story because obviously himself comes out of the pool and you don't know any different.
Yeah,
But like obviously, if you stick someone with a spear, there's going to be blood in the pool.
that's a good point.
Uh, but that's just my observation.
That's a very good point. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Uh, but
so, so the failure turned into a success
it's
or something.
Jaws-esque. Uh,
But you said she was the first. She was the first of the kids, but I'm not sure that the cop didn't get killed first.
no, cop doesn't get killed first.
The cop didn't get killed first. I need to watch it again. You
No.
watch it more times than I have.
So
Yeah,
she goes first.
yeah,
The boyfriend goes second.
yeah.
Then they're on the beach looking for them. They
That's
meet
right.
the
The
cop.
cop
They meet the
cop
cop
comes
on the
up.
beach,
That's right.
and he gets taken out with
And then he gets it.
the piece of wood through the face, which is abnormally terrifying.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a machete.
Yeah, but but like it's just a great movie altogether. And I don't want to keep you too long tonight. I'm really thankful for the time that you had to come on. And as I says, the Mutilator 2 is coming out hopefully relatively soon. Um,
So,
I'd imagine it'll probably be after Christmas at this stage, though.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
Well, at least I
Okay.
have something to look forward to next year.
Okay. Well, Greg, it's been great. Thank you for having me.
But I really do appreciate it. You don't understand, and a major thank you for the hat as well. And it was great to actually sit down and talk to you and just listen to you for a while. Um, but what I'll do is I'll finish this show the way I finish every show on a Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the great George A. Romero, stay scared.